Okay, so both Cloud Desktop and ChatGPT Codex do come with their own respective Chrome extensions, and basically with this extension, you can use the AI agents from their respective apps to essentially let AI to control your Chromium-based browsers, be it Google Chrome, Opera, Microsoft Edge, Brave browsers, and many others. So basically, with this browser use capability, the AI agent is able to use a website, use a web tools, navigate to some menus, links. It can also read the text, it can see the images, and sometimes it can even watch a video to understand the context. So with this level of interactions, the AI agent is now becoming like your junior assistant. Like, it can do some of your work, and it can do the work while you're sleeping or doing some laundry. And honestly, I've been using this feature a lot, and it's really impressive. Now, given that both Cloud and ChatGPT do come with this feature, does Google Antigravity comes with the same capability? Well, the answer is yes, obviously. I mean, Google owns Google Chrome, so there is no reason its AI agent product, which is Google Antigravity, cannot use a browser. So in this video, I'll show you how you can utilize Google Antigravity to control your browser, and you can automate some of your works with this feature. So first, I'm going to be using Google Antigravity 2.0, which is the latest iteration, the latest development of Antigravity. So it is not the same as Google Antigravity IDE, which is basically just an AI code editor, and it was indeed the original version of Antigravity. But with Antigravity 2.0, it is now becoming a tool that is not only designed for developers, but also pretty much for everyone, because it can control or manage your local files, or in this case, you can also just use its agentic capability to control your browser to automate your work. So I'm going to be using this one, and it's just way simpler, way easier than the traditional IDE. Now, you can download this program to your computer, and then you can install it normally. And of course, you need to log in with your Google account. Now, after that, the next thing that you can install is a Chromium-based browser. Now, technically, you can use your current Google Chrome browser if you want to, but my recommendation is to use a secondary browser, a Chromium-based browser. It could be Opera, it could be Comet browser, it could be Microsoft Edge, Brave, and there are plenty of browsers out there that are basically just Google Chrome with a different flavor. And the reason is quite simple. Actually, there are two reasons. First, if you are using a secondary browser, then we are basically mitigating or reducing the blast radius, because again, AI agent is going to control something and it may make a mistake, and we just want to minimize that. And therefore, we can set up a secondary browser where we are only log into some accounts that are absolutely necessary and not controlling anything else. So even when it screw up, it's not going to be overly catastrophic, and that's why using a secondary browser is, I would say, quite reasonable. Now, the second reason is we don't want to be we don't want AI to interfere our work. So that's one way to put it. So technically, the AI agent is not going to control other tabs or pages that you are not assigning AI to do the work on. But my recommendation is to just set up a secondary browser so you can separate your actual browser, the main browser that you are using for your work, and the browser for AI. I think that's just a lot cleaner and a lot more manageable than trying to use one browser for two different entities, a person and AI. So that's my second reasoning. So because of that, I'm going to be using a browser called Chrome Canary. That's basically just Google Chrome, but it's just the earlier version. Actually, this is known as developer's version of Google Chrome. It is very similar, but it comes with some features that might not or will arrive eventually into the mainstream Google Chrome browser. But again, you can use any Chromium-based browser and it should work just fine. I'm going to open Chrome Canary on my computer. And after that, you need to navigate to this page on your secondary Chromium-based browser. And by the way, of course, you can log into some accounts first if you want to let AI to control those accounts. Now, under remote debugging, you want to enable or allow remote debugging for this browser instance. So this will allow Antigravity to use this particular browser. Now, let me just go back to Google Antigravity. And you can start a new chat, you can start a new workspace or projects, but I'll just start a new chat without being attached to any particular project. So first, you have to enable the context, which in this case, the browser. Now, after that, you can describe the kind of work that AI needs to do. For example, I want you to navigate to youtube.com and then type Mark Rober on the search bar, and then search the channel, and then open the channel, and then tell me what is the latest comment, the top comment from the latest video. Of course, you can use this feature or something that is a lot more productive, but this is just one example. Now, for the model, I will use Gemini 3.5 Flash High. You can get away with the medium or even the low version, but I think we need a little bit more intelligence to let AI to understand the job. And also, it will minimize the risk of AI hallucination or worse, from injection. So at the beginning, I do recommend to just monitor the whole process and make sure that it's something that AI can do properly. And if there is a problem, there is a mistake that was made, then you can tweak your prompt, or you can create an instruction file that will guide AI about what to do when it comes to doing a work using the browser. Now, just wait until it finishes. Okay, now it is invoking the browser automation. You can see that it asks me to allow remote debugging. I'm going to click allow. And there you go. Now this browser is in the control of Google Antigravity. So I think it is running an agent. Okay, the sub agent has been invoked. I'm going to open that on the side panel. Browser automation agent, you need to approve it. So if you are planning to reuse this over and over again, then you can perhaps create a project in Antigravity, and in that project you can set up a permission setting, like should it ask you every time, or should it just run automatically depending on the task. So that's something that you can do later after you have perhaps doing some testing and verify if AI can indeed do the job. So yeah, apologize for my slow connection, but as you can see, it is able to basically control the browser. Now, from what I can see, the sub agent is running, and I think it has a 3-second delay between works or between steps to verify everything. And by the way, Antigravity might also record a video of its journey from start to finish, and I think that's actually a really cool capability because you can review the whole process and see if AI did something right or wrong, and then based on that information you can tweak your prompt or the instruction. Alright, so it might take for a while because of my internet connection for some reason, so I guess I'll just skip a while and I'll show you the end result. Okay, so unfortunately I have to kill the agent prematurely on the the Google Chrome Canary browser because of the problem with internet connection, so I couldn't get the job done for some reason. But now I'm using Opera, which is also based on Chromium, the same engine as in Google Chrome. And as you can see, it is able to do something on my behalf. It can navigate on some menus, links, click the pages, etc. And it can also scroll the page. So yeah, it's been quite an interesting experience and demo. So I'm still looking at the agent operator. Okay, so I think we got a result now. There you go. So the browser sub-agent also generated a recording of the session. You can view the recording right here. So yeah, as you can see, it does work quite well. It is controlling the page, and it's also a lot faster than Claude than ChatGPT Codex. I gotta say it's really fast compared to those two options. And also not to mention, it's cheaper. The Gemini Flash model is way cheaper than the other options. So I think you can use this as an AI agent that can be used to control your work, to automate your boring tasks. And again, you can even set up a scheduled automation in Google Antigravity. So this task might be redone again and again, maybe while you are sleeping or doing some laundry. But of course, make sure that it is something that AI can do well, correctly, consistently, and you want to minimize the blast damage, and make sure that the prompt is as specific as possible. And you might want to provide some conditional rule, like what happens if something doesn't go as planned, etc. So you want to test this again and again, and just make sure that this is something that is quite reliable before you are letting AI to run this autonomously. But regardless, this is an amazing feature, and I hope you learned something from this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my future videos. Have a great day.